Hello guys, it's goldiex here and welcome to my top 10 favourite Call of Duty campaign missions. For this list I'm going to be counting down my favourite campaign missions from the Call of Duty franchise. I know this is a topic that's been done to death on YouTube as the Call of Duty series really has become a household name in the gaming industry. As this franchise turns 20 years old this year in 2023, I thought now would be a fantastic time to count down my favourite campaign missions from the Call of Duty games over the years, in my opinion. The Call of Duty series was the franchise that got me into the first person shooter genre, and I have countless memories from playing the campaigns that the Call of Duty games has offered over the years. Whilst the franchise may have lost its appeal to me over the years with the later installments in the franchise, the earlier installments in the series really do have a special place in my heart, and I love revisiting them every once in a while to relive the memories of playing these games when I was younger. Now that I've played through many of the campaigns on my YouTube channel, I thought now would be a great time to do a countdown on my favourite campaign missions in the series. Please be a bit mindful about my choices, as these are my personal favourite missions from the franchise. There were so many missions I wanted to include on this list, so I will shout out some honourable mentions before I get to my number one pick. So without further ado, let's dive into my favourite Call of Duty campaign missions.
Remember, no rushing.
The final mission in Call of Duty World at War requires you to storm the Reichstag building, playing as Dmitry Petrenko as you fight along Viktor Reznov and the Russian forces in an attempt to take control of Berlin and force the German war machine to surrender. The Reichstag building is a well protected building, and the German forces are going to give it all they have got to prevent the Russians from taking control of Berlin. As you would expect, this mission gets tense very quickly as you storm the Reichstag building, and the constant fighting from inside the main hall of the building as well as on the rooftops makes this battle very memorable in many ways. The amount of fighting taking place in the building can make this mission quite challenging in place as you hope to make your way to the top of the Reichstag building. This mission really makes you feel like you're witnessing the final days of Nazi Germany as Hitler's empire continues to crumble around you as you fight your way through the building to literal non-stop fighting. Just this makes this mission in my eyes one of the most memorable missions in World at War. Once you get to the top of the Reichstag building, I'll always remember the moment Reznov comes to your rescue when he gets shot, and Petrenko and Reznov cutting down the Nazi flag really was a sweet moment to behold. Victory in a Call of Duty game has never felt this good.
Victory screech!
The Numbers mission in Call of Duty Black Ops, where you interrogate Dr. Daniel Clark in an attempt to get more information about Project Nova, really was a mission that got my blood pumping when I played it for the first time. Not just from the brutal torture scene at the start of the mission, but also what follows afterwards, as well as you are forced to escape from Kowloon City after you were ambushed by the Spetsnaz. Escaping from Kowloon was very action-packed, as you'd expect, as you fight and parkour your way over rooftops while it's pissing down with rain in an attempt to escape the Spetsnaz onslaught. Nowhere in Kowloon feels safe as you attempt to escape alongside Weaver and Clark, and just as you thought you would finally get some answers about the numbers in Project Nova, Weaver gets shot by a sniper, all that torturing for nothing. Poor Dr. Clark.
Ooh.
Overall, this mission was a blast to play through, and also the soundtrack for this mission
Perfect.
The Karma mission in Black Ops 2 marks the halfway stage in the game's campaign. For this mission, David Mason, Harper and Salazar travel to the beautiful island getaway known as Colossus in an attempt to find and retrieve the weapon known as Karma, only to discover that she is a woman before DeFalco and his men get to her first.
Karma isn't a weapon. It's a woman.
I love the paradise and nightclub vibes this mission has. Well, that is until DeFalco breaks hell across the nightclub, that is. What makes this mission so memorable that this mission really is a deciding point for what ending you get in the game, depending if you get to Karma before DeFalco does. Just make sure you get to Karma first so you can get the best ending possible. That's if you want the best ending, that is. Something I did not do in my Black Ops 2 playthrough.
We need to get back to the Obama. Find out why the girl's so important to Menendez.
The Burning Out mission will always remain my favourite mission in Call of Duty World at War. This mission has you playing as Private Miller alongside Sergeant Roebuck and Private Polensky as you continue to storm through Pelulu Island against the Japanese forces. In this mission you will constantly fight through trenches and artillery positions, which means it's a perfect opportunity to burn out your enemies from the trenches using the flamethrowers, and I cannot describe how satisfying this mission is. This mission is just so much fun, constantly mowing enemies down with a flamethrower is just as satisfying as it sounds. Shame this mission is a bit too short for my liking though, considering how fun this mission is. The Cliffhanger mission in Modern Warfare 2 just has about everything that makes a Cold Mountain mission fun. For this mission you play as Sergeant Gary Roach Sanderson alongside Captain Syke McTavish as you sneak your way into a Russian base to retrieve a module from a downed satellite before the Russians could put the module to good use. At the start you are ice climbing your way to the top of the mountains, which can have very serious consequences if you're not careful, obviously. The section afterwards, in my opinion, perfectly nails how a stealth segment in a snow blizzard should be done, as you sneak your way into the Russian base using the snow blizzard to your advantage. Roach and Soap getting caught eventually leads to the best snowmobile segment I've ever played in gaming. This part of the mission was by far the best part, and making that big jump at the end is still just as thrilling now as it was when I first played this mission all those years ago. Woohoo! In the Blood Brothers mission, we see Soap, Price, Yuri and Kamarov attempt to assassinate Makarov at the Hotel Lustig in Prague. Unfortunately for them, things go sour very quickly as Makarov knows they are here to assassinate him. The assassination plan falls apart, and then what follows from there is Price and Yuri trying to assist a wounded Soap to get to safety. Fortunately, Soap dies from his wounds, and I'll never forget the moment I witnessed Soap's death for the first time. How heartbroken I was to witness a badass like Soap go out the way he did. I felt like I wanted to shed a few tears witnessing that. Afterwards, we also learn about Yuri's past when he was allies with Makarov and how the two became sworn enemies, which perfectly fills Yuri's backstory. With the points I've just mentioned, it is easy to see why this mission was so memorable when I first played it, and I still feel that anger and heartbreak every time I witness Soap's death, even to this day.
Oh no, 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 no! Soap! No, no, no!
Infiltrating the Gulag from Modern Warfare 2 was an action-packed mission from start to finish. In this mission, Task Force 1 is sent to the Russian prison known as the Gulag, where they must rescue a prisoner known as 627, who is the only man Makarov hates more than the Americans. The concept alone of this mission is so damn appealing. The second you enter the Gulag, you are swarmed with enemies and you feel so screwed the second you enter the base, because there are so many enemies in the base. Many which have goddamn riot shields to protect themselves from enemy fire. When you fight your way to Prisoner 627, there is literally non-stop action, and there is one point where you even need to fight enemies inside the showers. Yeah, seriously. Near the end of the mission, it is revealed that Prisoner 627 is actually Captain Price.
Drop it! Soap? Price?
Man, I cannot tell you how happy I was to see Captain Price's face again after the events of the first Modern Warfare game. After you find Captain Price, you then have to escape the Gulag, which at that point is completely collapsing on itself and you literally barely escape. The soundtracks that play during this mission are some of the best soundtracks I've ever heard in a Call of Duty game.
Nice.
I'll never forget the moment I played the Vorkuta mission for the very first time. This mission blew my mind when I first played it, so much so that I remember all 8 steps of the prison breakout for a very long time. Ascending from darkness to slinging inferno shots down on watchtowers, using a minigun to unleash mayhem back at the prison wardens, to then riding out of the prison in a motorcycle, this mission had everything to make a prison break so exciting. This is how a prison break in a video game should be done. Honestly, I don't think I'll ever see a prison break mission top this mission in my lifetime. This mission is just so goddamn good. In fact, I love this mission so much that I replayed the mission all over again straight after playing the mission for the first time, just so I could relive the mission all over again straight away after playing it for the first time. It's just like they say,
Man, the first time was so nice, I had to do it twice.
The All Gillied Up mission really was a jaw-dropping mission, and it's still a mission that gives me goosebumps even today, many years after playing this mission for the first time. Set 15 years prior to the events of the main game, in this mission the then Lieutenant John Price and Captain Macmillan are tasked to assassinate a Russian man named Imran Zakhaev in Ukraine. While sneaking their way through an irradiated wasteland to get to Imran Zakhaev, during this you must sneak your way under enemy vehicles, snipe enemies quietly from a distance, wait or kill certain enemies as you choose, and the segment where you must hide in long grass as tanks and enemy soldiers walk past is one of the most intense, if not the most intense segments I've ever played in a video game. That segment still makes me tense up when I play it, even many years after I played it for the first time, and that music that plays during that captures attention of that perfectly. This is how you make a stealth mission for a video game, and that says a lot coming from a gamer who is not the biggest fan of stealth missions or stealth video games in general. You know this is a fantastic mission when someone like me, who is not a fan of stealth video games whatsoever, even ended up liking this mission. I almost wanted to stick this mission at number 1, but there was one other mission in this game I just had to stick at number 1 instead. But before I reveal that mission, let's have a look at some honourable mentions in no particular order.
Research for what?
Medical advancement, something like that. Doesn't matter. It's a prison now.
Woods, I can't. I have 2 kids. They... Fuck! Okay, me!
Shepard, this is Ghost. No sign of Makarov. I repeat, no sign of Makarov. Captain Price, any luck in Afghanistan?
Miller, you're okay. Thank God. We're gonna make them pay for what they've done.
Scarecrow, this is 6-2. Prepare to receive optical feed. Copy, actual. Receiving transmission. Cleaning up the signal.
Time to hunt down the last remnants of the fascist Reich.
Nevsky, grab the gear. We are moving out.
The men and I have fought through the most bitter of winters.
The crew expendable mission at the start of Modern Warfare 1 will always have a special place in my heart. I know some of you may argue my number one pick, but this mission blew my mind when I first played it. This was the first mission I ever played in the first person shooter game, and at the time it really left a fantastic first impression on me. It really did feel like I jumped into the game and joined the army as I infiltrated the cargo ship at sea. For this mission you play as Soap McTavish alongside Price and a team of SAS commandos as you infiltrate a cargo ship which contains a dangerous package. When you find the package, the ship is fired upon by an identified aircraft and the ship begins to sink. This part of the mission was so tense when I first played it, as you were literally trying to escape a ship which is sinking faster than the Lusitania. This mission was a fantastic introduction for me into the Call of Duty series and has had a special place in my heart ever since. So there you have it, my top 10 favourite missions in the Call of Duty series alongside some honourable mentions. Feel free to leave your favourite Call of Duty missions in the comments below, as I'd love to know what your favourite missions are in the Call of Duty series. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the missions I've picked. Okay guys, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to keep updated with all the gaming content I upload to my channel, and I hope to see you all soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is GOLDiex and I'm out.